You're gonna have to train hard to beat Tong Po.
Well, I'm just a long down.
If you want to beat Tong Po, you're gonna have to be diligent in your training.
Man, God, this game is so hard.
To beat Tong Po, you're gonna have to bring out your inner beast. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, I want you to go in there and get Tong Po.
I'm coming for you, Tong Po. Ah!
Oh, that's my third student this month.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? I'm Dex.
I'm Mike.
And today we're going to do a movie review for Kickboxer Vengeance.
The movie stars Jean-Claude Van Damme, Alain Moussi, Gina Carano, and Dave Bautista. And it's directed by John Stockwell, who you may have known directed box office duds Into the Blue and Blue Crush. Those movies really suck too.
Yes, and a little tidbit, he was also in Top Gun.
Oh, okay.
He played Cougar, and he was also in another Tom Cruise movie, which I forget because his role was like so small that I wouldn't even say it.
Well, I guess he's making money directing crappy movies.
He's making money. Okay, so what is this movie about? This movie is a reboot of the 1993 classic starring Jean-Claude Van Damme called Kickboxer. In it, where, I guess in this film, Alain Moussi travels to Thailand to avenge his brother's death at the hands of Tong Po. So basically, if you've seen the original Kickboxer, this movie is exactly the same.
But worse.
It's a lot worse, yes.
So, what I liked about this movie was I enjoyed the first 10 minutes of the movie. I liked how it began with him arriving to the dojo and, you know, how it kicks off there with him, getting into the confrontation with Pong To. I also liked the climax of the movie. I thought the climax of the movie was a lot better than the original, which, you know, it has a more hardcore ending, I would say, than the original, you know.
Yeah, it kind of does, but at the same time, I don't think you can compare this movie really in any respect to the original movie.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And I also like Dave Bautista in this movie. I'm a fan of Dave Bautista as an actor and a wrestler. I really hope that he continues to get work and maybe one day he'll be good enough to get his own franchise. But I did enjoy him as the villain in this movie. So what did you like?
Well, the first thing I liked is I liked the fact that I got to see Jean-Claude Van Damme back on screen again. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was nice to see him in a role where, you know, you just kind of like sit back and you're just like, cool, it's Jean-Claude Van Damme. Now, I wish it might have been like another role because he didn't really seem as if he was up to the challenge of being, you know, like the trainer. It just seemed as if his training was so much harder than the training that the new guy in Kickboxer had to have. But I did like having him in there. It was just nice to see Jean-Claude Van Damme back on screen. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So yes. I really did enjoy that. I did enjoy some of the fight scenes. Mm-hmm. I thought that they were good. I just didn't like the fact that he was just fighting basically random guys and you didn't know who the people were. Mm-hmm. You know, like all of a sudden, like for example, Mike liked the first 10 minutes of the movie. Mm-hmm. So he goes from America to Thailand, right, the star of the movie, to avenge his brother's death, and then all of a sudden he just starts fighting. And I'm like, why? Like, what just happened here? And it's no big deal.
Yeah, well, I see what you're saying.
A lot of inconsistencies in this movie.
Yes, a lot. But to expand on that, what I didn't like was how after the first 10 minutes, the storytelling of the movie was all over the place. Like, it just time jumped from what happened before, you know, he came to the dojo and then went back to afterwards. So it was kind of like the the time frame was kind of all over the place, and it made it a little bit confusing to follow the movie at first.
Exactly, because I feel as if you're watching Kickboxer Vengeance, you've probably seen the original Kickboxer.
Yes.
And you know what's going to happen.
Uh-huh.
It'd just be nice to have it in chronological order.
Exactly. You know,
Yes.
just don't make it so complicated. And also, Alain Moussi was no Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh, no.
He is a D-level action star. And I don't know how he was chosen to be the star of this movie.
I don't know either. Another thing, too, I didn't like was the fact that I liked that George St-Pierre was in this movie. I'm a big fan of his in MMA.
Yeah, me too.
I just felt as if there was no part, like there was no reason for him to be in the movie. He didn't
Character was pointless.
yeah, like he didn't make the movie better.
Uh-huh.
He just made it worse. And every time he was on screen, I just kept scratching my head. Why are you on screen? What is the point of your character? You know, and then if you look at his character through the movie, he just does like a complete 180, and they end up concentrating on his character at certain parts in the movie.
Yes.
And he's so not necessary in the movie that I say to myself, why are we watching him on screen? What is the point of
And
him?
he was an awesome character in Captain America. You know, like
Yes.
that fight scene with him and Captain America was awesome. So I was hoping that he would bring that to this movie, and trust me, he doesn't.
He didn't. He could have been in the movie, but I mean, he was in the movie, but his character could have been so much better.
Exactly.
In fact, all the characters could have been so much better.
Yes. So also what I didn't like was it was just a terrible script. The original was much better. But like I said before, I did enjoy the climax, but just watching the movie before the climax, it was kind of hard to get through, and it was kind of draining to watch.
Yeah, because the whole time you're watching the movie, you're comparing it to the first movie.
Yes.
And as every minute goes by in Kickboxer Vengeance, you're really thinking to yourself, God, I should turn this off and just watch the original Kickboxer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it was really that painful. But remember, it's still straight to DVD.
It is, yeah. Still straight to DVD,
So
but
you cannot judge it as if they put a lot of money and a lot of time into this movie.
if they had put more money, it probably would have been better, but
And maybe they would have had a better director.
better star.
Exactly. And, you know, it would have been on more screens.
So for these reasons, I'm going to give this movie a C minus.
And I'm going to give it a C minus as well. There were definitely some pluses in the movie. There were a lot of negatives. I was excited to see the movie, but it just let me down in so many different aspects. But because it's straight to DVD, I am willing to give it the benefit of the doubt.
Exactly. So C minus is all around.
C minus is all around. All right, looks like that's all the time that we have today.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And if you guys would like to share any of your thoughts, we'd be more than happy to read them and to comment to them. All right, thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time.